So your 2 CDs are out, Sinful Innocence and What a Difference a Day Makes.
Yes, talk about that. Gosh, I could spiel on forever. I'm like trying to think about my What a Difference a Day Makes was my first album. I did it in Vancouver, mostly with Hip Joint, amazing producers there, and another producer by the name of Latif. And it was interesting because I had just come out of being in a girl group for like 5 or 6 years, and I was really young. It was like, and we'd kind of been offered the really big deal, and one of the girls wanted to go get married and have a family, and it's like, so since her heart wasn't into it anymore, it's like I didn't want to ask her to stay. And so that, I felt like the end of my life. Like I was like, what am I going to do? It's like I had these big opportunities in front of me, and you know, they didn't pan out, and so it was like, okay, I'm going to do an album, and it's like, I called up everyone that helped out the girl group. And I was like, please, I'm going to do an album, like, I'm going to do something, I'm just going to put myself out there, like, anything, like, I'm on the grind, I'm not going to disappoint you. So a lot of the producers just kind of were helping me out, and, you know, they didn't charge me full price, and, you know, I was really just on the grind, and growing up, I danced a lot too, so I called up my 2 really good dancer friends, and I was like, okay, I'm putting together a show, whatever it takes, and I really, with What a Difference a Day Makes, got it off the ground myself. And basically it came to the point where I had a whole whack load of songs and nothing was happening. It was like I was sending out all these packages to labels and things, and you know, the Canadian music industry sadly is just not in the same place it was, you know, 5-10 years ago. And you know, people would call me back and they'd be like, yeah, we really like it, we really like your voice, but you know, you need more stuff happening, you gotta like create the buzz for yourself. And I was like, okay. So I'd go out and do shows, so I was doing tons of shows, and it just wasn't enough. And so finally it was like, okay, I'm gonna take a leap of faith here. And I paid out of my pocket a radio promoter in Vancouver to put out the song that I thought was the strongest at the time, which was the Naughty Song. And everyone was giving me flack. They're like, oh, you swear in it, it's really sexual, like the Canadian music industry might not be able to handle it because there's not, you know, as in the Canadian industry, you know, sadly, as all, you know, hip-hop and R&B artists in Canada know, it's not dominated by that market. So anyway, I paid this radio promoter to put out the Naughty Song, and boom, tons of radio stations added it. And within like 3 or 4 weeks, it was like top 40, and it, you know, it did so well for me. And then, some of those labels started to call me back. Oh, well, we see your song is charting on the media base. And I said, yeah. So, you know, I took at the time what was the best deal that was offered to me, even though by standards it wasn't a great deal, but it's like you gotta start somewhere. And it definitely, in my head I was like, okay, I just need to get the pinky in the door, you know, every little step helps. So basically when the song was charting, it was like, and then the label called me, it was like, okay, we need to get something out as quick as possible. And so for What a Difference a Day Makes, it was just, I almost didn't feel like it was the first album because I was in the studio. In my head, I wasn't making an album, I was just making songs, like songs as good as they could be to get me noticed, to get my pinky in the door. So that's What a Difference a Day Makes. It's a whole charade, a story. But then I was nominated for a Juno, and I was nominated for an Indie Award and a Radio Award, so it's like, it was amazing that the industry recognized the song as well. And then also that, you know, album led me to get the better deal that I have now for Sinful Innocence. And so Sinful Innocence in my brain, as I said, it's like the first album because it was the first time. It was like I came to Toronto, I was like, okay, you're gonna make an album. What do you want it to be about? Like, and for the first time I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna think about, you know, what topics I want to have, different tempos, different this, like different producers. And I did it with Kuya and PA, which are amazing producers. And yeah, I did the album here, and I worked with like, it was cool because I got to like select people that I wanted to work with as well. It's like people were submitting me things, and it was like, yeah, it was just a completely different experience. And then putting it out, promoting it, it's like we actually had like a plan, you know, more so it was like, okay, you know, we wanted to do a video for this song, and it was just night and day. Like I can't even compare the 2 albums. And even now, it's like with everything that I've done, it's like I've gained so much knowledge of what I want to do now differently in the future. So it's great, and it's all been amazing, and obviously the Sinful Innocence, it came out in other territories and toured the world, and I can spiel on. So yeah, that's the two albums.
Well, thank you. Thanks.
Both of them are available. Go get some in the stores.
Where can we find your music?
Well, both the albums are out. You definitely can go to like HMV or CORYLEE.net. I just catch my finger. CORYLEE.net. And my MySpace is myspace.com/CORYLEeMusic. So
And that's CORY.
CORY. I know everyone always thinks it's got an E. Even, but it's funny because CORY is usually the boy way. That's fine.
What are your future plans for your next album? What should your fans look forward to?
You know what, I definitely, I've grown a lot as a writer, and I definitely want the third album to be more probably a departure. Still, the same CORY LEE, but I definitely want to use a lot more live instruments and, some new people. So, I don't know. I don't know what's in store. It's like, I'm definitely going to go back to Scandinavia, promote the Scandinavian release in March, and Asia as well to promote the Japanese release. But yeah, thinking about the third album now, so lots of cool things in store.
So, aside of everything you're doing, you are in a TV show, Instant Star.
Yes.
And let's talk about that. You're Karma.
Instant Star. I love Instant Star. What a great show. Epitome does it. They also do Degrassi. Tune in, CTV, plus Instant Star airs on the N in the States, which is the teen network of Nickelodeon. And it does really, really well in the States. It does the best in the States, which is amazing. And yeah, my character's named Karma, and it's like you don't know if she's a good girl or a bad girl, and it's just so fun, and I love it, and I love the cast. Karma. I know, it is a fun name.
Yeah.
And I get to sing on the show as well, so it's like blending all my loves together because I love acting. It's so great.
You're in your 4th season, right?
Yeah, we just finished filming the 4th season, so you'll probably CTV will start airing that. Usually they air it after Canadian Idol, so that's how it's been the last 2 years. So that's probably what they're gonna do. But check your local listings.
What do we not know about CORY LEE?
What do we not know about CORY LEE? I love just having fun and going out. I love my girlfriends. I'm a homebody, definitely, like on my time off, because it's like with music, it's like you go out a lot, and it's like I love that too, don't get me wrong, but it's like I get my fill of that, and I really just love being at home and watching movies. I'm really just a normal person, as everyone is, and I'm just happy to have people that I love around me. I'm definitely close with my family, and I definitely am proud of that.
Do you miss home? Like, do you want to go home? Or?
I miss home a lot. It was actually really hard for me, I'd say, when I first came to Toronto, because it's like I'm definitely a family person, and being away from all my girlfriends and my mom and my dad was really hard for me. But I met a lot of really cool people here, but it's just not the same, girlfriends that you were friends with when you were 10, that like saw you through all your gross phases, can laugh at you when you dyed your hair red or whatever. It's like, that's who I love. Like, I have one really, really close best friend, and me and her, it's been tough being away from her just because. Oh, totally. My long distance build definitely repping. So, no, it's good.
So who would you want to work with in the future? Like, who would you want on your album featured in and stuff like that?
I definitely, as I said, Aaliyah was a huge inspiration for me. And I think I would be elated if Timbaland produced a song for me. And he's so hot. He has been continuously since because that was one of his first really big things, was that Aaliyah album with Missy's. So, because Missy wrote a lot of that album too. So I would really, really like to work with Timbaland. That would be amazing.